They're two Winnipeg parents that most Manitobans know by name, Wilma and Cliff Dirksen. Many have followed their tragic story for decades. It was 34 years ago when their 13-year-old daughter Candace went missing. Just a few weeks later, her body was found frozen. Their names and faces became thrust into the spotlight for the next 3 decades, from trials and retrials to their legacy projects. The newest, Candace House, a refuge and a home, a place outside of the courthouse for those families who are having to relive their nightmares, to do it with as much peace as possible, and one that from the moment it opened brought tears to the Dirksens' eyes, but this time of happiness.
This is it. This is beautiful. This is really beautiful.
It's a house Wilma and Cliff Dirksen have spent decades dreaming about, a place they wish they had when they needed it.
It came from our experience of just being very frustrated as victims and never having a home. And we could see that the offender was being looked after really well, to the point where we would say, we have penal envy. Because they were tracked, they always had a place, they always had people around them, and we didn't know our way through it. There was no set place, no set people for us to settle down and have a house.
Until now, Candace House is a legacy to honor their daughter who was killed in 1985.
This place will be Candace's place. She's got a house. And that's kind of fun to think of. She's grown up. She's become an adult. She's become mature. And I think that's every parent's dreams, for their children to become mature and independent. And so for us to have that even after death is so remarkable.
But more importantly, it's a place of safety and privacy for other families who are dealing with the same murder trial horrors they had.
It's so tiring, so exhausting. And some of the words and conversations are so hard. They just you need to have time away. And there's also the need to center oneself against all the fears that are going on.
The nonprofit charity home is somewhere to go for a nap, to have meetings with police or lawyers, or just to get out of the public eye.
This house is really about being a home away from home for families who have lost a loved one and are having to go through probably what is arguably one of the most traumatic times, having to relive the murder of their loved one while going through the court process. So it offers a place to just get away and relax.
This is really a place totally victim-centered. And you can feel safe here. That's huge, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, which is so needed. And yes, and that we really want it to be a place where people will feel the love.
But it's a place that's taken a long time to get to. It's been a horrific journey the Dirksens have spent more than 3 decades living. And it all started 34 years ago. Before there was ever a dream for a home like this, they had to get through the tragedy.